There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Sure thing, George W.
George W. Are you implicating our former president in 9/11?
I know for a fact that I'm just going to go ahead and say that 9/11 was a black mass.
Are we recording, Marcus?
Yeah.
Oh my God! People just heard that. Welcome to the show, everybody.
I better call the Council of Foreign Relations, get this covered up immediately.
It's Last Podcast on the Left. I am Ben Kissel. With me, as always, we have Marcus Parks.
Aye.
That is Marcus Parks, and then I am Ben Kissel. And then with... I usually say you first, and so this whole thing got screwed up.
Yeah.
There's a guy to my left,
Come get your hot dogs.
and he's slinging hot
Come
dogs.
get your hot dogs. Hot dog salesman, Henry Zabrowski.
Hot dogs. How long have you been a hot dog salesman for, Henry?
Fucking 7 minutes.
7 full minutes. How many-
Just started it.
have you sold any yet?
No, because it's just imaginary. I don't have any.
You don't have any hot
No,
dogs.
I'm busting this open.
Oh,
you know what
man.
that's what this whole fucking podcast today is about. It's
No.
about not hiding behind illusions.
Right.
It's not hiding behind characters like normal. This is the real me.
That's
Henry
you?
Zabrowski.
Hide yourself.
Take the secrets out of the closet and put them on a bed and put the lights on in the bedroom and see the secrets that are on top of the bed.
This is what happens when we record late and Marcus and Henry have had a full day of research. A full day of pantless research today. That's correct. Secrets are out the window. We're exposing a little thing we like to call secret societies.
Spooky secret societies.
They're going down today. Henry, tell us.
one at a time.
One at a time. The only way to take down a secret society. One
And
at
I
a
will
time.
I will verify that I was naked in that picture I posted on the Facebook page.
No, you were.
There's a picture on the Facebook page Marcus posted of him at the Research Center for last podcast, and then Henry also posted a picture of his
I was
research
researching.
center.
I was
Yes,
researching.
and your naked leg was in it.
What is wrong with your foot?
It was just a bad shot of the foot.
It's just your a bad shot of the. It was just a picture of
I
your
spent
foot.
2 hours playing basketball.
Right. Henry walked into the studio today limping, and I was like, "What did you do? Play basketball?"
And I said yes.
2 hours.
For 2 whole hours. I can't believe basketball players do it for how long are the games? 6 hours?
Something like about 6 hours.
I'm not really sure.
No. So when you were playing basketball today, well, let's.
I
this.
hurt my groin muscle.
Okay, and did you make some layups? Did you make some shots?
I did.
Okay, good.
Jackie told me it took you like 35 minutes to make a single shot.
Exactly.
Of course, that's Jackie Zabrowski.
I'm not
from the
counting
Roundtable
minutes.
Gentlemen.
He asked if I made one.
Right, and you did make
I
one.
did make one.
That's
Again, secrets busted.
That's right. That's right.
Framing the information is the name of the game.
That's correct.
I agree.
Secret societies.
Set
Out of the shadows.
That's right. Arguments
Into
on
the
your
streets.
terms. Into the streets, out of the shadows. Let's get the first one out of the shadows here, Henry. Which one do you want to discuss to start us off?
Okay, so I did some real readings. We got some fun stuff for you today, but also I kind of got deep. I kind of got deep in there.
And so, were you naked when you started your research, or did you just slowly peel off your clothes?
That's how I
the
do my
deeper
research.
You go.
That's how I research.
You start clothed and then peel away. Or
It's
you
what
just-
Beethoven did.
I don't know.
Beethoven would too. He did everything naked.
No. He
Did
would
I
have been
not-
arrested. He would have
Did
been
I
killed.
just read that in a porno magazine about Beethoven?
No, you didn't read that. You just read that in your brain skull, and then your words just said it.
So I researched what basically I wanted to research current secret societies
Right.
and how they're affecting our public life today.
In 2013, how they're
in
affecting us now.
Because now we have because we're going to cover a lot of stuff. Of course, it started in a way back machine with the Bavarian Illuminati.
Bavarian Illuminati.
Which was, in Germany in the 1600s. And even before that, when the reptilians first combined with human blood in order to create the super strain that formed the super secret groups like the Galileans and the Hittites.
We know. Get on.
I know. But where I wanted to start from is true documented secret societies that are going on in society today. And so the first one I want to cover real quick is the Bilderberg Group.
Now,
Of
is it
course,
possible that the Bilderberg Group is meeting as we speak this evening?
they already met 2 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, they already met. They do a meeting about once every 2 years. What
Oh,
it
okay.
is, it's a super secret meeting of
Jews.
No,
Marcus, take it easy.
It's reptiles.
Oh, that's even worse, Henry.
No. It is various European dignitaries and titans of industry, and Steve Jobs would go when he was like of this realm.
Yeah.
Right.
And people go all the time, and then Peter Jennings went once.
Okay.
Like they go and they go and they meet in these super secret locations, and they have these what they call open discussions. Now, specifically,
I feel like you really gave Peter Jennings a lot of credit there, by the way. The news anchor, Peter
that was
Jennings.
because that was the one that stuck out on
Peter
me.
Jennings, man. Of all the people, I can't believe they got that newsman from the TV.
But we're talking about when we're going to talk about Bohemian Grove a little bit more.
Yeah, right.
Harry Shearer went
Yeah.
to Bohemian Grove.
Harry who?
The guy from This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into the roster
Amazing.
of Bohemian Grove later on.
Okay, I apologize. So let's get into the Bilderberg Group 2
So
months ago.
there's three central real groups that operate behind the shadows that are not just the CIA and the NSA. First of all, NSA, go fuck yourself.
Sure.
I'm just gonna put that out there. I got the bomb. I got the bomb. Come get me.
I mean, this is public record, so
It didn't work.
I'm fairly certain the drones have hovered overhead as we speak. That's great.
So it's the Bilderberg Group, it's the Council on Foreign Relations, and this Trilateral Commission,
Sure.
right? Which are all the reason why they're considered secret societies is because there's no direct roster of all who's involved.
Okay.
There's a lot of you know kind of who's there, but you don't know who's in all of the meetings. In
Right.
the Trilateral
There's no
Commission,
roll call. There's no.
There's no roll call.
There's no notes of the meetings.
Because the whole point of these meetings is that they have this thing called open-ended discussion, which is nobody writes anything down in the meetings, so it encourages free talking. So everyone
I
will show
actually
up.
quite enjoy that.
I seen that, yeah, because they're saying, that's where they could finally get off their chest.
Because,
we're gonna get these monkey people to build new pyramids.
Again, we're gonna take it
finally
easy.
say that.
Yeah,
know?
but Peter Jennings brought a flip camera, brought his iPhone, and tried to whip that out of one of these meetings.
You mean to tell me we can't say anything we want here?
No, Peter. But thanks so much for coming.
I gotta tell you, I don't like Arrested Development.
Whoa! Someone get that on record. Somebody get that on record. He's going to be blacklisted from the industry.
I don't like it.
Well, you're not hip, Peter. You're not hip at all. So if I asked you the Bilderberg Group, Council on Foreign Relations, and the third one, Trilateral Commission,
Yes.
what's the major difference between these three?
All right, so the Bilderberg Group is essentially dealing with it deals with European Union things and corresponding European Union stuff corresponding to like NATO agreement stuff,
Okay.
and to stuff with America. And what is a real document that came out. Now, normally what people say is like it's just a friendly discussion. Like people get together so old friends can chancellors can slap each other on the back, and Bono will be there and they'll be like, Bono, let's see your dick, and he's just like, all right,
Is he Australian?
all right.
Yeah.
Because that's how he sounds.
Yeah.
but
I've heard you too.
generally, they talk about like gigantic issues that all these countries have to deal with.
Some
where
more
it's like
global issues.
Yes, and Bilderberg Group deals with the symposium this year was all about food supply.
Okay.
And they were all talking about, the certain areas. It's kind of where the Monsanto thing started with
Sure.
getting flown into, this idea of making GMO-based foods in order to feed, millions and millions and millions of people.
Of course, check out the Monsanto thing. That's where they're making vegetables that don't need water and things like this to
No, the way they're selling
solve
it.
starvation in Africa.
Absolutely. The way they're selling it is that, we'll be able to grow it anywhere.
Right.
This is food that will grow in any surface, in any climate and stuff. But what they're not saying is that what they're doing then is making the environment addicted to growing food that way, and then therefore, because they own the patents on the food, the only food that can be grown can be owned by the Monsanto company.
Right, exactly.
And then they're the only ones making money. And then
If you're a
creates-
farmer, if you don't have the Monsanto seeds, you're out of business, and it's illegal for you to farm.
It's
without
illegal
them.
for you to farm. So what these guys all talk about is that they have a sort of open discussion about, either food versus population,
Sure.
or like water supply, or the idea of like destabilizing countries and destabilizing countries like entire economies.
So
And
they're
not-
using this as sort of a weapon.
Well,
like
what
the
they
most
do-
biological of all weapons.
They all sit around and they
food.
talk about things that they all talk about like ideas, but
Right.
then what goes on beyond, like behind the curtain, is the fact that they're lobbying various chancellors and political people to all align their countries towards making sure a certain end result happens. That's the sinister
Sure.
side that may or may not exist.
Sinister.
The one thing that is written in fucking ink and been put out there is an example of what the Bilderberg Group does. Is a thing called the DCDC to Strategic Trends Program from 2007 to 2036.
Okay.
Now this is
DCDC Strategic Trends Program.
this is what I was reading today. I got it.
I had so much more fun than you did
Yeah,
today.
no, I got fucking serious. No, so but what this basically states, what it is they contracted a private military organization in the UK to create this document saying like what's going to happen to the Earth from 2007 to 2036, both like climate-wise, population-wise, like politics-wise and stuff. And they got this think tank together and they wrote this entire document. And basically, they're starting to tick down the things that it's already predicted. Like it predicted flash mobs, which is what was going on in the
Egypt,
Arabic Spring,
Arab
and like
Spring,
and all like that kind of stuff. And basically, what it's saying is water's going to run out. Food's going to run out. Those who are in control of the water are the ones who are going to rule the planet. Those who are in charge of the food are the ones that are going to rule the planet. And that what we need to know is, we need to lose people. Essentially, what it says is we need to lose people, which is, as we know, as we've covered many times, the NWO's ultimate goal, which is to reduce the population in order to make things easier technically for everybody, but really it just makes it easier for the drones to see everyone.
Which is why Alex Jones believes the government's making us all gay.
No,
Of course, the government is making us gay through juice boxes.
Well, thank God I wanted to. Well, I would give
Henry's
to
been-
wear a Little Mermaid half-sea shirt, roller skates, just fucking singing on dancing.
We won't see Henry without a fruit box from here on out. Everywhere he goes. It's just interesting, like they use...
What do you think they call them? Fruit boxes.
Oh, I don't even like the pun. I'm sorry,
It's
everyone.
soap boxes. Because I'm clean.
Yes. I like that the people, with the Arab Spring, they use a flash mob to, force democracy, and here it's just for like a Spike Jones video.
Yeah, it's just to
much
like
different.
make fun of the Friends theme song.
Right,
No, we're
exactly.
wrong.
Yeah,
We're dumb.
We should go to Washington and have an actual flash mob.
We're letting it get to this point. We are giving it to them.
Right.
And so there was that, and I'm just going to. So that's just one example of what the Bilderberg Group does.
The Monsanto.
Look into it. Read about it. Alex Jones is obsessed with it. We're going to talk a lot about him.
Do you want to lose your girlfriend in less than 4 hours? Look into
Join
it.
the Henry Zabrowski Learning Day Camp.
You'll be
Come on down to
alone,
the.
but you'll be in the know.
Learning
Alone.
day camp, an abstinence support group.
Just sort of turned into the second
I had
half.
tacos at 3:00. I put on pants to talk to the delivery man in order to get my tacos.
Wow.
Well, when I got back in the thing, I ate my tacos with no clothes on while reading my second document.
Interesting.
The Trilateral Commission.
Documents.
Now, the Trilateral Commission is a combination of it's U.S., British, and Japanese forces coming together to all kind of like again talk about the world. We're gonna get together. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the world, and they talked about the European Union. When it was made in 1975, the Trilateral Commission is a very super shady, just sort of think tank that the government was using. And what they wanted to do, they wanted to talk to a bunch of people and basically say to them, hey, tell us what democracy is going to be like in 10 years.
Sure.
And so they went ahead and they wrote this thing called the Crisis of Democracy.
When did they write Crisis of Democracy?
In 1975.
Oh, okay.
Now this
When you ask about what's going to happen with democracy and they turn that in.
Crisis of Democracy.
Right.
Yeah, I was
That's not
expecting this.
great.
It's like, what about the Good Times Democracy Parade?
Yeah.
It was canceled.
Oh, I see.
What
It's like more
about the Democracy Hot Dog Grill and Lemonade Competition?
Patents denied.
Oh, that's my kind of democracy.
But
Nothing but hot dog grills and lemonade parties.
But they wrote this document, which again I read about 50 pages of. It's 160 pages deep. Read it. Read it.
Again.
Get it in your fucking heads.
If
All right?
you want to be alone, just allow Henry.
I've been waiting
read
all
it
day to
for
say
you.
this information. We're going to get to the fun stuff.
We will. This
All
is
right?
the best stuff. I love this.
So the Trilateral Commission wrote the Crisis of Democracy, and with the Crisis of Democracy,
All right, let's take a breather. Let's just take one breath.
I'm sorry, I think my funkin' talking broke.
He has literally broken, and the machine parts are flying off of him as we
My
speak.
tiki-taki broke.
Is that a?
Wait a second, there's steam coming out of my pants.
This is bizarre.
He's a clockwork boy.
It is 117 degrees.
Ow! I believe I was just hit with a lug nut. Lug nuts are flying off. So
so
the crisis of democracy.
What that basically says is we have too much democracy. What they're discovering is that during the student revolutions, the student like all the stuff that was going on in the 1960s,
clogs in the machines, all that stuff.
Yes, it was just like when all that happened in the 1960s, they were like, well, it's destabilizing the government's authority over the country. It's good for democracy. It shows how much democracy we have because everyone's freely exercising it. But the problem is that John Adams even said that is that all democracies die. You know, the whole point is that as soon as you get, look at a Montessori school. You got all these kids like cutting papers in circles. None of these kids are going to be scientists.
Montessori schools are the worst.
What the hell is a Montessori school?
They are where liberal idiot parents send their kids, and the kids create the curriculum.
It's like kids
Do you
draw
wanna do
on the
math?
teachers' checks, and
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Thank you for this."
That's great.
Jeremiah shows a lot of hope
That's
and
what-
promise.
My face is covered in permanent
Jeremiah
marker 'cause
doesn't
he got
have any
into the
pants on.
permanent. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's where the Indigo children go.
Exactly.
It's Indigo Children, Academy.
It's awful.
So-
they create the worst human beings on the face of the planet.
And so basically there's so much democracy, it's all going to fall apart. So in order to do this, what engenders democracy is a wide perspective. It's a lot of information. It's having a lot of education. It's looking around and being like, it's being able to empathize with a bunch of people, and it makes decisions a lot harder. And one things that they did say that was interesting was that a university whose teachers were chosen by the student population it makes the most democratic university,
Sure.
but does not make the best universities.
Just like it doesn't make the best parents when the child tells the parents what to do.
Exactly, it doesn't. So, but what they
it's
said is
interesting-
that we need to limit our education. We need to stratify it
Right.
into exactly what we have now, which is it's classrooms made with buzzers, like the idea of like each period being delineated,
Sure.
shuffling people from class to class. You break people down.
Right.
You make an educational system that's essentially a prison system.
Indeed, yeah.
In order to get people used to being subjugated so that they are then easily led.
See, I said this every fucking day when I was 13 years old
Yeah.
as a freshman in high school, and I just got suspended for it. But it's the absolute truth.
But that's the whole thing.
This whole idea, it's like I didn't understand the science project, and then the teacher's like, "Well, your 45 minutes is up, so I guess you're an idiot." It's like what Dr. Phil or Dr. Drew does with Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, the season is 7 weeks, and everyone's just like, "I need to stay. I still love heroin."
Well, we're wrapping up. The lights and the
So,
sound
yeah,
stuff
we
has got to
grips
go
and
back to the rental
They're paying
company.
time right now for the grips, so we're just gonna have to scoot you. And I think we did a good job today.
I killed my baby. I used to be on Roford and Sons.
Yeah, well,
Roford and Sons.
these guys are union, and
You know,
You're about to hit golden hour, and frankly, we can't be doing it with a budget.
Yeah, so I'm very sorry.
So that was the
Yes,
second
but
trilateral
the institution
commission
of schools. Yeah.
Yes.
But okay, but it was interesting what you said before, though. They were saying that education would, if people were highly educated, democracy could work.
No, they're saying the problem is that the problem with any government is there being too much democracy.
Too much knowledge.
Because too much democracy means that everyone's running all over the place, able to make crazy decisions, and you won't be able to. You won't have your fun little polling programs that won't be able to tell you how each fucking district's gonna vote. You won't be able to tell, you won't be able to have us like a bunch of fucking sheeps tied to a goddamn fucking fence.
So the notion
I don't know
is-
how sheeps are kept.
I guess they're tied to a fence. They could be.
But that's what it's for. It's to keep us good and fat and happy. And believe me, when I had my tacos, I was really happy.
So the government could have just invaded your home, like a whole
I
SWAT
would have
team
just
could have
taken
been,
me out there as long as there were like, there's tacos in the showers, to
Yeah.
be like in concentration camps. I'd be
Yeah.
like, where? You got al pastor?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, you know, some people you just need free tacos. And you
That's
just
really
let the
all I
government
need.
do whatever. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I understand. People ask me to do 9 internet videos a day.
Sure.
If you could just give me tacos.
Yeah. How much money in tacos have you made with all your internet video
Not
experience?
even anything. Like, it's $19.
pay for your tacos today.
Thank you.
It's not so bad. All right. Yeah. So democracy works when the public is ignorant and stupid.
Yes,
That's what we learned.
It's just much easier to run the country, and that's
Right.
the only reason why I'm even bringing these things up is because it exists. I know that you could extrapolate it to any extreme. You could say that this is the NWO's plan, and you
Sure.
can sound like a crazy person,
Yeah.
but the fucking building blocks are there, and they're right in front of your face.
It's a government. I mean, this is a government
It's written down.
This is government research.
Yeah.
The crisis of democracies.
Well,
People
it's the
are
same,
too intelligent.
and it's what we're already talking about with fucking Unit 731 and everything.
Sure.
It's like the government will go ahead and do horrible things to get information in order to continue their fucking war machines.
There's
They
no
will
doubt.
do it. Yeah.
All right. So we've covered 2 out of the 3. Then we got a council.
And then
of
just the
Foreign
Council of
Affairs.
Foreign Affairs, the Council of Foreign Relations. Dick Cheney made a speech to them like right towards the end. He's a fucking evil piece of shit. So, but again, this was just more of a.
Oh, we're gonna hear from him later.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
But this is a more
He's lived
of him.
quite a life.
He's like the Penguin.
He really is. Although I think he hates penguins. That's
Oh
the thing.
yeah, of course, yeah. Do you remember when he was in the wheelchair and he had that big wide-brimmed white hat on?
He is adorable.
That was my favorite fashion choice.
I mean, he shot
of a
his
leader.
friend in the face.
Yeah.
Anytime he's smiling, someone dies.
He's a Bond villain.
Every time Dick Cheney dies, every time he smiles, somebody is dead.
When he was in the wheelchair, there was a dead cat underneath him.
I mean, that's amazing.
I like the smell.
Yes. That's his potpourri.
So real quick, Council of Foreign Relations.
Yes.
What this is a think tank to help America deal with talking to other countries because we don't know how to.
Right.
And the main thing that they did is essentially they framed how we delivered the information of JFK's assassination out to the world.
Okay.
That was where they started from, and now Donald Rumsfeld was a member of it, and Dick Cheney was a member of it. All of the most evil players the last 10 years were all part of it.
And there's a large theory out there that Rumsfeld was the reason that JFK got assassinated in the first place. Him and the H.W. Bush.
Was it?
Oh yeah, H.W. Bush was a member. He was in.
Oh, you're talking about because of the CIA and what they all did. Yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, Rummy
And
was
Prescott
involved with all
Bush, the
that.
great-grandfather of the evil clan, he stole Geronimo's skull for Skull and Bones.
Oh, Prescott.
And that's who's coming up next, my favorite
Right.
fucking crew of
Yes.
fucking Animal House knuckleheads.
That's right. Skull and Bones, of course, has sort of been bastardized over the years with some shitty movies. I believe it's called Skull and Bones.
Every piece of material I read about Skull and Bones today featured, there's like, as pictured in the 99 movie, the skulls.
Starring,
It's just like, no.
Yeah, who was the star of that from? It was from Varsity. No, what was?
I couldn't give a fucking rat's ass. It's the guy
One
from
Tree
what's his
Hill or
name?
something?
Yeah, he's got he was in Mighty Ducks.
Joshua Jackson.
Joshua Jackson. His career is going.
But everyone was just
High
like,
places.
as pictured in the skulls. And it's just
Right.
like, don't do that, guys. Don't
Please.
do this in your research. But
Stop.
Skull and Bones, super secret society
Right.
in Yale for all of the grooviest leaders of America that
Yes.
all started there in college. And it's the only thing mysterious about Skull and Bones is the fact that so many of the dudes that were in Skull and Bones turned into presidents
Right.
and leaders of industry and editing magnates. Henry Luce, the guy who made Time Magazine and all that stuff,
Okay.
he came from Skull and Bones.
What was some of the ceremonies in Skull and Bones?
So one of the ceremonies is that one of them would apparently you can't hear too much about. None of them will say anything. What's really interesting is look up John Kerry talking about Skull and Bones.
Okay.
John Kerry went to Skull and Bones. He was in Skull and Bones, and he did an interview where they asked him directly about Skull and Bones. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's secret,
But that plays very well into David Icke's idea of the illusion of choice. I mean, in the 2004 election, you have Bush and Kerry running against each other with the insane notion that they're somehow different. I mean, these are both
Two
members of the
fucking
same
pigs
fraternity.
from the
They're
same
fraternity
pen,
brothers.
yeah.
Exactly.
No, they are disgusting.
Right.
Sorry,
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to say this. Marcus lost his shirt. By lost, I mean he took it off because he's sweating profusely, which was fine because Marcus's body isn't hideous. But then Henry saw what Marcus did and chose to follow suit.
Yeah,
so
come
now
on,
I'm
sure.
surrounded by two shirtless men, and dare I say, this is what they look like when they're doing research.
Shirtless
And
podcast.
I'm going to keep mine on because
Ben, move his shirt. He blocked the fan.
Oh, okay. It's very hot, and it's a sweaty shirt. Oh God! All right, okay, Skull and Bones.
Thick with my soup.
Yes. Anyway, so
This is a good episode.
this episode is
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
I'm so happy that we have listeners that love us and understand us.
if you really want to feel what we're going through, go into your shower right now. Go into your bathroom, turn the shower on hot, sit on the toilet, and turn off all air conditioning, and you'll just sweat profusely.
Yeah,
it's a
and listen to
sauna
the
in
podcast.
here.
Yes, just do it. Gain 75 pounds. Take a walk on my shoes.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so
And
let's
yeah.
let's go into some creepy things that the Skull and Bones did.
Skull and Bones, they would do the only thing these guys keep really
They do.
fucking tight about this. They don't talk about
this
it
come up in a presidential debate.
because every time they do it, they laugh it off. Watch it. Look up politicians responding to questions about Skull and Bones every single time because they always laugh about it. They're like, "Yeah, I know, I was in it," but then they all fucking they don't even mention it. They just jump right over it.
I got John Kerry talking about it
Look
right
at-
here.
do
Let's
this.
Yeah, let's play it.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
What a jackass.
He just jumps.
Well, yeah, so tell us the secret
He
about the
just
Skull and
jumps
Bones.
in right
Oh,
away.
well, it's a secret. So he's like, one thing that's not a secret is that I disagree with this president on his
No, and I
policy.
definitely need
Yeah.
to speak with George Bush. And I was like, I have never seen a dodge like that. That was
Unbelievable.
ludicrous.
Like what is it? Neo in the Matrix, dodging all the bullets. Just, I mean, the man almost broke his back
but it's like,
doing that.
if it's a nothing club, then why don't you just say something about
something,
it?
yeah.
Just say something.
If it means nothing.
But apparently, the traditional Skull and Bones the procedure is that if anybody brings it up, you're supposed to walk out of the room.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to hang around.
Now, but
Well,
what do you think about this idea, though? Do you think that this is all just a big practical joke? I mean, do you think that this is just pulling one over on the people because nothing actually happens?
There is
and the idea that
I think it's a happy medium between the two. I
Right.
think that there is a lot of dumb fuck shenanigans because
Just
they're
some
like
drinking and
I'll talk
whatever.
about some of the stuff that happens, right? So like one of the ceremonies is that one of them will dress up as what they do in one of the hazing rituals is one dresses up as a pope. One dresses up as a Don Quixote type character.
Okay.
They said the one with the bassest voice dresses up as Don Quixote, and then one dresses up. It's the Pope, and one dresses up as the devil.
Oh my
And
God!
they
So
take
what are
the
we going to
new
be?
guys-
Henry, you're definitely the devil, but Marcus and I both have fairly bassy voices.
That is
So I
true.
think you're the Don Quixote.
I'll be
of the
Don
group.
Quixote,
Yeah.
and he got a lot of ladies,
No.
Yeah, I mean,
you're thinking of Don Juan.
and that's the different person. All right, let's move on then.
But if one of those.
You're the Pope, Marcus.
I love being the Pope. That's who I wanted.
Yeah, I'd love to dress up as a pope and just shit in a bucket and tell people, "Hey, I got stinky hot dogs, stinky hot dogs." Because that's what the pope does anyway with this shit religion.
At 93 degrees, Henry turns retarded.
Let me tell you what JesusIsSavior.com has to say about the Skull and Bones.
Please, let's hear
And
it.
that's Jesus-is-savior.com if you want to visit it yourself. Freemasonry, Skull and Bones, Rosicrucians, the Council of 13, Judaism, Mormons, and other major occult and religious groups all have one thing in common, and that is the evils of Zionism.
That's no.
Intriguing.
Oh no! They
Very
were
nice.
onto him
Always like that anti-Semitic twist.
Ugh,
every
it's-
time.
I've been
Well,
running-
there has only been one Jewish member of the Skull and Bones.
And who was
Wa-
that?
was a famous athlete in Yale. They always try to have one of the top athletes,
Okay.
and they would try to have like popular dudes and then big partiers. That's what
Sure.
the 15 that they choose every year out of each senior class. But the only Jewish guy they ever had was a Jewish athlete, a basketball player. It was white, of course. They
Okay.
have had one like black guy, I want to say, like,
Okay.
but normally they are Protestant. They are male. They just started allowing women in there because John Kerry, thank God, he went out there and he stuck a leg out for the ladies.
Liberal-minded John Kerry. Thank you, John.
But basically, they just flog each other and beat each other. And the most famous thing that they do is a thing called CB, or connubial bliss, where
Connubial bliss.
they lay down in a tomb and they it's basically in a coffin that they have,
Okay.
and that they rattle off their entire sexual history.
This is right. And this is now used for blackmail.
That's what they say.
so that you can never go against
Which
Skull
is just
and
like,
Bones.
come on. Do you really? What has fucking like George W. Bush? I guess they raped a bunch of people.
That-
I
I'm
guess
sure they
raped
did.
a lot
I
of
mean,
people.
mostly, yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
John. Then again, I don't even give John Kerry that much credit. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't think he raped anybody
I kissed
except
a
for
girl.
Kathy O'Brien.
Yeah. He definitely raped Kathy O'Brien.
Well, she
Okay,
was
well-
made for it.
Right. Well,
Kathy O'Brien favored a tool of MK Ultra.
Well, we'll get to Kathy O'Brien in just
yes,
a second.
yes.
So this is, but I think that there's somewhere between two. I think that they do a lot of, because that's what we talk about with all of these things, with the Illuminati,
Sure.
with with Satanism. It's big ritualism they say is
Pompousness, yeah.
empty and bullshit. They say, oh, we're having fun, we're putting on costumes.
Sure.
But there's something to the human consciousness that releases a specific kind of energy when you perform these rituals.
Definitely.
It is a thing that you're doing. You change the energy of the room.
Definitely.
And they obviously have some kind of pull because all their dudes fucking become president.
Right.
So they're doing something.
Something's happening, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it be a Rolodex or summoning the devil.
It's-
like a large Rolodex or they actually
Or
know
that's like
Satan.
what
But it is
summoning
a
the
large
devil
Rolodex.
is. It's like all it is. Is looking in the Rolodex.
Right.
And it's just like, oh yeah, Georgie makes great pizza. He can run Spain.
There we go. I made a phone call. You're running Spain now. But the election isn't for 6 months. Oh, yes, you've already won.
That's so
Don't
funny.
worry about it.
No, that's what, and that connects back to the Bilderberg Group too, where they say, Obama went to the Bilderberg Group and he hung out for a week and fucking had some cocktails and had some yucks with Jan Schlicker, like fucking the dude who's making wax babies in Germany.
Well, that's the change I can believe in. That's good. That's great.
I think that Obama's. I'm gonna go. I think he's evil.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I've gone
Well,
full.
just-
I think I've gone full around. I think he's the Illuminati.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
David
that
Icke is
he
right.
is.
David Icke was right. He's a lizard. He is one. That's not even funny to say. He's real.
Again, Henry doesn't have a shirt on. And I'll tell you, when he bounces around, oh my, I can see the burritos.
Why are
telling
you
the
discrediting him, Ben? Are you a shill? Do you
Hey,
work
I am
for
not
Obama?
Obama.
You
Did
being
not
a
send me here to
disinfo
spy.
agent?
No, don't turn on me, you shirtless.
Your fucking ad hominem arguments, attacking the person.
Attacking my body sides when my voice is filled with the music of truth. Oh, hey, 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 hey.
I am.
I'd like to see the egg on your face when the flap shoot out of Obama's
I
neck
agree.
and he spits poison all over everybody. That fucking lizard. Come at me.
Sounds like a Jurassic Park character.
I think if you go into the NSA's office, it's just a bunch of eggs and nests and fucking sun lamps. Because lizards can't get fucking hot.
It's just sad because he really is a terrible person and an awful human being. But now
That's
no
how
one's
I
gonna
know
believe-
I'm flesh and blood human beings, because I'm sitting in this room sweating
and
so
you're
hard.
miserable. Yeah, you're not happy.
Yeah. Barack Obama's up there, cool as a cucumber. He's got lizard skin.
I mean, he has arrested more people for espionage than any president combined before him. So
He's
that's
got a Nobel Peace Prize.
yeah. He's gonna have to give that back soon. We've discussed this many times.
He's got a Nobel Peace Prize.
He got it,
He's
because
the
white
grand-
people gave it to him.
He's Loki, the master of trickery.
Loki from the Avengers, of course, the great Thor character. All right.
These
well,
are the end days.
okay, Alex.
All right, yeah, sure. All right, what if they are?
Bring them on.
Yeah, what are
I
we
hope
gonna
it is.
do?
I agree.
don't know.
All right.
All I know is at the end days, every night is taco night.
All right. So let's move on. Wonderful stuff.
So Skull Bones, do you want to cover with their favorite fucking summer camp experience at the Bohemian Grove?
Yes.
Every summer, all of the world's elite.
Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning now. Come on to the Bohemian Grove with me.
They go to sunny Northern California.
I bet you they love that song, by the way, but they think the Beach Boys are just a little edgy.
Oh yeah, every single time they're cutting a smile into a dead girl's face.
Sure, yeah.
Play that song again, Obama.
About 2,000 of them descend upon a little place called Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove.
Where the sunsets are cool and the beer's hot.
Weird. I really kind of wish it was opposite.
Hey everybody, we're making paella. Come around to the owl statue if you want to kiss John Kerry. Yeah, I'm over here.
Does nobody want to kiss me?
Or everybody hop on Kerry. We're playing the hop on Kerry game.
I'm sorry, John. Nobody wants to play. with
Only 69. I can't drive 69.
you. Do we have to continue to invite John Kerry here? Because no one's touched him in our past, 12 meetings.
Come on, ladies. Don't you want to ride the long nose?
He's really changed since he lost the presidency.
Well, first I'm going to tell you what the mainstream says about
The
Bohemian
lame
Grove.
stream
The
media.
lame stream.
That's what
It's from a great book that I have called Cults, Conspiracies, and Secret Societies. It's by this guy, Arthur Goldwag.
Well, this guy's kind of a party pooper.
He's kind of
Goldwag?
he's kind of a party pooper, but he still gives some real great details.
Why do you say he's a party pooper, Henry?
Because he's gonna see gold wags over everything.
Okay. You're just gold wagging over there.
Goldwagger. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, he's the guy who showed up just being like, "Oh, this is Yingling. I only like Miller High Life.
Pepper Jack.
Get out of here, gold wag."
He's going pepper jack cheese. I like cheddar cheese.
Well, every summer, of course, one of the big points of it is for all these people to get together and to speak off the record. They have little speeches to each other out by the river.
So much
All of
fucking
that.
evil stuff. Just
Lot
get
of-
a recorder.
Yeah, a lot
Get
of
somebody writing something down.
And they've been doing this since 1880.
Okay.
Another thing that they've been doing since 1880 is they have a little play that they put on for each other.
I love the play.
So in Bohemian Grove, they put on a play with and they meet once a year.
It's an elaborate musical.
Of course, it's a musical. These
Where it's
goddamn
like-
flaming.
And it's got a cast of hundreds. And in fact, in 1996, George H.W. Bush and Clint Eastwood played a pair of lakeside frogs.
Clint Eastwood and George W. Bush
makes me sick.
together.
Well, here's the plot of the
being
play.
thespians.
How do I get an audition?
Yeah, that's,
This
you
is
just,
my. How do I get in there?
You just want to roll, right?
They want
Yeah.
it. If they want to see someone do a play,
You got the chops
come
for
on,
it, buddy.
guys.
Here's the plot of the play. Care is a cruel taskmaster that the club members have fled to the pastoral precincts of the Grove to escape, hoping to replace his tyrannical regime with an easier going way of life. The pageant reaches its climax when Care's effigy is incinerated in a fire kindled by the Lamp of Fellowship, but not before the archenemy of ease and beauty mocks its tormentors from his bier, saying,
Geek beep, nerd alert, nerd alert.
Here is his tormentation. Fools, fools, fools.
I am Lord Rael.
When will ye learn that me ye cannot slay? Year after year, ye burn me in this grove.
This is gonna be so boring.
Lifting your
To sit
puny
through
shouts of triumph to the stars.
She's sitting around, just like, when are we gonna make the next atom bomb, guys?
How much ayahuasca? How many drugs do you have to do
But-
to make this worthwhile?
When again ye turn your feet towards the marketplace, am I not waiting for you? As of old, fools, fools, to dream ye conquer care.
Oh, this is my favorite part coming up. My favorite part's coming up.
Yes, most observers have characterized the ceremony as, quote, hokey and quaint.
They love it. This is
Yeah,
like,
because they're just aching to start murdering the boys. When do we murder the boys?
And
It's
here's
just one
what
of those situations where it's like, if you're like a black American and you hear this information and you've
It's
always
all white
wondered, like,
people.
why doesn't the government relate to me? It's because this is what they do. This is
this
their
is how
conference.
they party.
Yeah, an orchestra performs daily, gourmet food is served.
Of course.
And many of the guest cabins are equipped with pianos.
Of course they are. That's wonderful.
Fucking, it just,
This is my favorite part of it.
what a waste of life.
Longtime member Richard Nixon, whose telegram to the Bohemian Club after he won his second White House term, it said, anybody can be president of the United States, but very few can ever have any hope of becoming president of the Bohemian Club.
Why? Because it's the devil himself?
Yes.
Because
And the
what
devil
you don't
doesn't
say,
die,
what
so
it
it's
doesn't
tough to-
say in that is that they burn the human effigy of Care in a gigantic owl statue named after the ancient pagan god Moloch, who is god of the night.
Yeah. What's care?
Care is the the idea of it's care equals responsibility. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're talking about running from the god of care, running from the god of responsibility
Sure.
in order to, and using fellowship, using a bunch of white dudes sitting in a forest, fucking a bunch of boy prostitutes
Well, I'll
in
tell
order
you
to
one
get
thing.
away from it.
It has a
I
lot
think
to do-
Obama was at that meeting because he definitely runs from quite a bit of responsibility. He really took a liking to that care burning. That's for damn sure.
Well, Nixon was captured in an unguarded moment on his Oval Office tapes describing the scene at Bohemian Grove as, quote, the most faggy goddamn thing you could imagine.
Nixon's still my favorite president. Out of all the reptiles, out of all the evil beings,
He does say
he's the
somebody.
best
You
one.
know what? I think he was human though.
You
He's
think
just
so?
bad.
Nixon,
he
he
was just
actually
bad.
looks very
Nixon was
reptilian.
great.
I mean, let's not do this.
Let's not do this.
Let's not do this. No, it's it's just a fuck party.
Okay, so we have the Bohemian Grove.
So Bohemian Grove, and we've had some heroes try to infiltrate Bohemian Grove. We have had heroes infiltrate Bohemian Grove, but before I get to the biggest hero of all,
Okay.
I want to talk about another man named Richard McCaslin.
Okay.
Richard McCaslin was
Richard
an
McCaslin.
McCaslin.
Yes.
He was an ex-Marine and one-time stuntman at an amusement park.
What's a bigger?
We don't get the heroes we want.
Yes.
It's the heroes we deserve.
He donned a commando-style uniform with the name Phantom Patriot stitched on it, armed himself armed himself with an assault rifle.
Well, that's not nerdy.
A sword,
A cardboard piece of paper that just says "will work for food."
a pistol, a
And
cross.
several styrofoam balls he called his flame orbs.
Indeed, you passed
Plus
him
4
on.
flame orb, plus 4 flame orb.
Just walk faster, honey. Just walk faster. Is he following us?
I've put you in an enchantment of entanglement. You can't move 4 squares unless I spin the guessing circle.
We're gonna start running now,
Plus 4
baby.
flame orb. Guys, we can't play the game unless you follow the rules.
He also had a fireworks launcher, and he broke into Bohemian Grove determined to kill any perpetrators of human sacrifice that he could find. Unfortunately, it was the middle of winter, and nobody was there.
Right.
So he just set some buildings on fire and received an 11-year prison sentence.
11 years.
Not so bad.
For
11
arson.
years.
I guess.
okay.
I actually don't even
He's
know
lucky
what.
he just wasn't spirited away.
Yeah, it was a Moloch the Great Protector didn't come and turn him into a gigantic sack of balls.
Well, I hope he went. I hope he got hired back at his stunt job.
You
after
got to
his
know
11-year
if you're
sentence.
trying to sneak up on Bohemian Grove, the first thing you got to do is listen for the Calliope music.
That's
because they always have a wicked carousel in the center of Bohemian Grove. That's step number 1. And if you had read the fucking literature,
Right.
you would have known that.
And they're always in their underwear, so it can't be that cold. You know, they're always naked or in
They're
their
just wearing
underoos.
yacht pants and shoes.
Yeah, of course.
So our stuntman, he was inspired
Okay.
by the man who's not afraid to tell the truth.
You mean
my.
you're talking about the tip of the spear?
Tip of the spear.
You're talking about the Lion of Truth?
Oh my,
I'm talking about
The last true American patriot?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
He's our Luke Skywalker.
Indeed, he is, and we are all his father.
The libertarian Luke Skywalker.
Is he libertarian?
I say he's somewhere between Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca.
Yes. He's got the mind of Chewbacca and the body of a human. That's good. You're very attractive. Ooh, getting turned on over here.
So I know that this was my first introduction to Alex Jones. I first knew about Alex Jones
Through the Bohemian Grove
yeah,
stuff.
through the whole Bohemian Grove stuff and how big of a joke it was.
Because
and
he
all
brought the
that.
camera in there. He got footage
Yeah.
of the owl, the owl
He did.
ceremony.
But let's listen to some of the documentary about Bohemian Grove that Alex Jones did.
Now, is this the part of the documentary where he talks about how the ice machine doesn't work in the hotel? There is a lot of documentary, and most of it's him sitting in his hotel room just being like, I sent for a cot 8 hours ago.
Right.
I called and I asked for a cot, and I still have yet to receive it. And I will also say is that I am not getting ESPN Classic on the television.
On the TV, yeah, yeah.
Well, the
It's a
original
conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
the original is 2 hours long. And a YouTube
Wow.
user was kind enough to edit it down to
a
say to
reasonable
do
length.
as he say to remove the boring
Because he
stuff.
busts open Bohemian Grove, but he also sells 3 air conditioning units over Craigslist.
Craigslist.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. It's a lot of him with his Craigslist dealings, talking about negotiations, but then also trying to get to Bohemian Grove, them saying, no. Him going back out.
Yeah, using technology that really.
You mean to tell me this is the only major American city that doesn't have a subway? I'm looking for a $5 footlong.
$5.
I've got a $35 food budget for the week.
Well, Alex, what kind of footlong do you like to get?
I like a meatball tuna.
Meatball tuna. I never heard of that. So it must be at least
I
$7.50.
call it the Bohemian Grove.
You do. Why is that?
Because it stinks to the core.
Well, I believe that it probably would. Meatball and tuna sounds like probably the most disgusting sandwich I have ever heard of in my entire life.
So our guy here on YouTube, he edited all the boring parts out, and his finished
It's 14
version,
seconds long.
It's 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay.
But we're gonna play some of the hits.
Yes, please.
So yeah, let's get into this thing.
Bizarre activities have been engaged in going back to 1873 and are not some new fanciful whim of the trendies on the West Coast. Presidents from Howard Taft to Herbert Hoover were on the membership roster. Not to mention, later, famous war general Dwight D. Eisenhower, later to become president. The roster of the Bohemian Club reads like a who's who of the elite. Look at this photo taken inside the Grove back in 1963. There you'll see Ronald Reagan. And sitting 2 people over from him, Later to become president, Richard Milhouse Nixon, Bush Sr., documented member. And then, of course, there's his son. Now, the last 4 generations of Bushes have also attended the Skull and Bones Society at Yale, well known to be steeped in the occult.
Well, that does give you an idea of what Bohemian Grove is all about.
Well, yeah,
definitely does.
it's definitely, it's the Mickey Mouse Club of all the most evil white men in the world.
And like most members of the Mickey Mouse Club, these people get drunk with power, turn to drugs, and become absolutely insane. Indeed.
All right, well, now this is an interview with a man who used to work at Bohemian Grove.
Now I cleaned all the floors, and I knew, and I mean, every time I went and I took a mop to the cabins, and I got to say, jam everywhere.
Was there a lot of cum on the floor?
No, it smells of strawberry rhubarb grape jam.
Really? Mostly?
I think it's some kind of breakfast that they're having.
Did you just mop the table as they were eating breakfast?
All right, here's the man who works
Yes, I
there.
got fired.
Okay, Camp Seekers? Yeah. I'm Alex Jones. I make documentaries. I'm just curious, what do you think about Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there.
You used to work there?
Yeah.
And now you work at Camp Meeker?
No, I don't work. Yeah, I live in Camp Meeker.
Oh, you live there?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Did you ever watch The Cremation of Care?
No.
What'd you do at the...
I just worked there.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
you never saw him march around in the red robes? And
No.
Oh, really? That doesn't go on?
But yeah.
Okay.
And that's when he just politely walks away from him. And Alex Jones, of course, is. Do you see how scared he was?
scared he was.
Yeah, he was terrified of you.
To give us the real information. We know for a fact we got a guy right there who's got all of the. He's seen the robes. He smelled the satin.
Why is it the fattest and ugliest people of our society love to do the bum rush media? Michael Moore and Alex Jones.
Because they scare. Because you could scare somebody really easy. Alex
Right.
Jones
They're
is a very scary guy.
monsterish men. Yeah, I'm not telling them anything.
Yeah,
I will be terrified.
Michael Moore looks like Krang.
He does.
Yeah,
Or
he's
Krang
like,
had a
he looks like
mind.
he's just got little fleshy barbs on the side of him, going like, "Yeah, but what about the American worker? What about the American worker? Maybe it's not fair to them."
Mike, how's your home going in Michigan? How's your mansion in Michigan?
I don't know. I really don't get past the stove.
Well, it's been really great to have you here, Mike. Thank you so much.
Candy fruit or candy.
You know what? You're irrelevant now in American politics, so we're just going to have you leave.
I'm mad.
We never invited you here.
Well,
Michael Moore, everybody. Michael Moore.
Let's continue with the documentary.
Men enjoying themselves has even been written about in the gossip column of the San Francisco Chronicle, writing that a man on his own often gets invited back to the camp by gay bohemians. Even 100-year-old annals have admitted the homosexual activities. After escaping the sheriff's department, Mike and I traveled high into the hills to wait until dark and the beginning of the cremation of care ceremony.
Okay,
Not that high. I mean, how high did he travel into the hills? That's what I want to know.
We got into a hot air balloon so I could see what the trees look like above it. But what we have discovered is we ran out of hot air.
We don't do well with less oxygen.
The basket came loose from the balloon, sending the balloon up to the stratosphere.
I blame my tuna and meatball stuff.
I'm doing more of a George Norrie impression, but that's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Here's him talking about the cremation of care. He's looking at this. There's a program apparently for the cremation of care.
Of
and
course.
he's looking at it.
First off, I wanted to draw your attention to the program that was given out to the spectators or the viewers. I guess an occultist would call them novices. Figure of a human body burning in the flames. In fact, I've shown it to people that are experts in anatomy, to actual doctors, and they say that the anatomical size is that of a baby or small child. Notice how large the cranium is in comparison to the torso, that is the ribs. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is from the program itself given out to the establishment lackeys witnessing these sinister activities.
This is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
There's probably something going on there, right? There is something going on.
Do you think Alex Jones hurts the cause?
Yeah.
It's figuring out what's going on at Bohemian Grove.
I think they love him.
This
I
is
think
why-
I think he is the Bohemian Grove's favorite comedian.
I agree.
And they just watch him. They must just watch him and just be like, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing.
And this is why last podcast on the left, listeners, and listeners to our program that we're going to be doing tomorrow at 10 o'clock on Sirius, or today.
Today.
This will be 10 o'clock today on Sirius
July
Radio.
10th.
They listen to us for the goddamn truth, and we need to start defuncting all of these insane Alex Jones myths.
I'll never know, but at the same time, like, I guess it's no matter what, it's a part of the scene.
It is-
You
he is
can't
a
be
friend.
mad at him.
He's a friend.
He's a
friend.
guy. He's
Yeah.
in there.
He's a peer.
You know, for all the shit he talks about David Icke, though, it
Ah.
kind of
Leave
makes
David
me
alone.
upset.
Yeah.
Because I like David Icke now.
I
So do
could
I.
argue, I would argue, and I will argue that David Icke has more rational points than Alex Jones on any given
Well, I
day.
mean, he's just actually, no. You know, no, but he's still like, it's still 16-foot lizards, but it's something, you know, at least he says a lot of stuff. Alex Jones is just looking at pamphlets saying, it's like, I have shown this to several experts in anatomy, which is just like dudes
his
looking
wife.
at, like, yeah, it's like
know?
a guy looking at a titty magazine in a gas station. It's like,
what does that look like to you?
so
That
would
looks
you
like a-
consider yourself an expert on anatomy? It's like, yeah, I look at a heck of a lot of tits on the magazines.
Oh, that's great. Well, then you definitely know what the human body
Would you
looks
say this looks like a baby?
I think it is a
It's
baby.
tiny like a baby.
Definitely.
All right, well, now let's delve into the really dark secrets of Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
This is from Kathy O'Brien, who we briefly mentioned on our MK Ultra episode because she is a victim of MK Ultra and Project Monarch.
I mean, she got brought out to the she got brought out there.
Yeah.
I was reading about another MK Ultra. There's Project Camelot, which is going on right now, which is another disclosure agreement, a disclosure program that people putting together, trying to get people to come out and talk about their experiences with MK Ultra programming.
Very interesting.
And there has been revealed about Project ISIS. Using interdimensional travel between the Rockefellers in the other dimension and the Rockefellers here, they figure out how to make someone live forever.
Who wants
See,
it?
You tried explaining that to me one day, and I don't think we
It's-
ever got it ironed out.
Well, I'm gonna say is that all the points don't come together. It's like a connected drawing that says it's supposed to make a dog, and it just makes like a big bunch of lines.
That's right. Connect the dots. But real quick, let's do a reminder on this Monarch situation.
Project Monarch is the precursor to MK Ultra.
Okay.
It's what the program was called. They flipped it into a bunch of different names, and that was one of them.
I
And
will say
what they
MK
said,
Ultra is
okay.
much cooler than Project
absolutely,
Monarch.
but Project Monarch was used because they used the butterfly image. I mean, part of it coincides with caterpillar turning into butterfly,
Sure,
and then they would use the butterfly image in their hypnosis.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well that makes a lot of sense.
So it's a
now that
government
what
program.
I'm about to
I know about this stuff.
what I'm about to talk about, this definitely makes sense from the caterpillar to the butterfly because sometimes they burn the fucking caterpillars.
Oh my, that's not good. How could it ever become a
I would be
butterfly?
so bad on a first date now. I just feel like as once you start, I was listening. You were telling me about a date you went on, and you when you brought Satanism into it,
She did not want to hear about
she
secular
runs a
humanism
baby.
whatsoever.
She runs a baby clothes store.
Well,
And
she runs a store. It was a gal. She's a wonderful woman and she's very attractive. But she runs a baby store, clothing store, and I didn't realize that meant she probably didn't want to hear all about the tenets of Satanism. And hey, you know what? My blooper, my bad. You know, I understand exactly.
It's because
where
weird now.
she's
So when I walk by the store, I'll like go in, and I'll like make eye contact with her, and she always like stares at the ground and like pulls the curtains down.
Yeah, no, she's terrified of all of us.
Yeah.
Of course.
As
So
she should be.
What Kathy O'Brien says is that MK Ultra sex slaves were routinely brought into Bohemian Grove every year.
Oh yeah, because
for-
they got that snapping pussy.
Snapping pussy. What is a snapping pussy? Who wants?
Snappa, snap, 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 like two boards slapping together.
Oh, I see.
And we know that there is human sacrifice going on at Bohemian Grove.
How do we know this?
We know this. Did you just not listen to Alex Jones? Did you just not
We
listen to
know
what he was
this
saying?
now.
Oh, I see. We now know this. Okay.
Yeah, we know this now.
Hey, I'm just here working for the government. Did I say that? Did I say that out loud?
So
We need to get a sound effect that's just this disinfo agent and just go like, "Drum." Disinfo agent.
She says that the What goes on there includes satanic rituals, torture, child sacrifices, and blood drinking. And the other sacrifices...
It's blood tasting.
Sure.
Let's get with it. It's classy. They spit it out.
Do you think somebody's upset? They're like, yeah, it was just a tasting. I only got like 3 ounces of blood. I really wanted like a couple of gallons, but they're such prudes over there.
And the other sacrifices included slaves of advancing age or with failed programming.
Cool.
So if
failed
they
program. Is it
failed
MK Ultra
there was
program?
an MK
I
Ultra.
remember this talk.
Yeah.
Because she talked about how they would bring them up into they would sacrifice. Oh yes.
Yeah. She also talked about the different rooms that they have at Bohemian Grove.
Okay.
They have what's called the dark room.
And is it...
It's actually very bright. It's a funny thing.
Yes.
The leather room. The necrophilia room.
Well, that's just obvious.
Yeah.
They could have called it anything. They could have called it the John Doe room. You could have called
creative names, right?
And then there was one called, this one's creative, it was called the Underground Lounge, but it was spelled U.N.derground. The UN!
Derground.
UN Derground.
I just don't. That one I don't. That's a stretch.
That's
that
a
sounds
fun
like a bar in Williamsburg
Yeah, I'm sure that it is.
where they have like skee ball and gourmet hot dogs.
Yeah, and some bocce ball and overpriced beer. Mm-hmm. All right, so...
And
Ms.
she
O'Brien,
goes on to say that while she was a child, she was raped, abused, and tortured while at Bohemian Grove. She was tortured and raped by Pierre Trudeau, the longtime Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah.
Sure.
She was raped by Gerald Ford while he was president.
And she didn't say one thing about his amazing coleslaw.
Yeah, I mean...
You mean to tell me you're going to get raped all this time and not get some of his delicious radish coleslaw?
Gerald Ford was one of the putziest, most clumsy president we've ever had. I don't know if he could rape. He'd fall off the bed and just start laughing.
This is also where she was raped by what's his name? Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, she said that she was raped by Dick Cheney many times the most brutal fashion.
I bet. I mean, he raped somebody.
Yep.
He shot a man.
And Dick Cheney's a fucking serial killer.
And they also pulled in slaves to play the most dangerous game.
Yay!
And that's, of course, where they released Ice-T into the forest and they had to go hunting.
Yep. They would they would allow them to escape, and then that's when the hunt began.
It is just surviving the game.
Barack Obama riding a white horse with a fucking net gun.
Yep.
Out there just like, I'm going to get a real old one, Dick. And he's just like, you get him, you. I'm so happy you're here.
What were you going to say, Dick? What were you going to say about me? Nothing, man. Just go out there and be one of us.
Be one of us? It's hard for me to even say it.
The three hunters that preferred to hunt with guns: George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
I can remember that.
Him too?
Bill Clinton. Oh, Bill Clinton's in all these.
Well, who did the harpoon guns?
Well,
You mean to tell me one person didn't have a mace?
That's Warren Buffett.
Warren
For a
Buffett
second,
or
I
Bill
just thought
Gates.
of what's his name from Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett.
No,
Oh,
Jimmy
he's-
Buffett has
he's
been
there.
to Bohemian Grove.
He's there. He's
Let
playing
me-
the fucking
let
music
me get
for
you
him.
a list of musicians who have gone to Bohemian Grove. You got Jimmy
And
Buffett,
raping girls in the
Steve
rain.
Miller.
Of
No, I
course.
refuse to believe that Steve Miller has been there.
These are facts.
Do you
These
think
are
he
facts,
wrote the
Henry.
Joker there?
Probably.
Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead.
That's fine.
That
He
makes
can Go
sense.
there, yeah.
yeah, he's definitely going there. And Mickey Hart.
Of course, the Mickey Hart band.
Which one was Mickey Hart?
I don't know.
They added that like that. It's just like, and sometimes even Mickey Hart shows up.
You know, maybe these guys aren't so powerful.
he was
it's a pretty shitty group of musicians, right?
He was in the Grateful Dead. And he was also in the Mickey Hart band.
Good. I knew that about him. I knew that.
I'm doing this whole electric spoon thing.
Yeah.
Riders on a stone.
All right.
You know what, man? I think you've taken entirely too many drugs, but I fucking love what you're doing.
And Kathy also says that when they were caught, they were brutally raped and sometimes killed.
Sure.
And if you didn't know,
I mean, that will...
it is a public place at times.
Okay.
So you can do reviews on the internet about
You can
Bohemian
Yelp
Grove.
Bohemian
You can
Grove.
Yelp Bohemian Grove.
Yeah,
I
well,
went to
I found-
Bohemian Grove. I wasn't raped once, and I ran through the woods for hours.
I didn't see one bush, or I didn't see I was told Mickey Hart would be there doing some
It's
sort
like
of concert.
same thing with like going to Hollywood. Like I went to Planet Hollywood. I did not see Bruce Willis. I did not see Jean-Claude Van
and
Damme.
I got to
did
straight
not
tell
see
you,
all-
my mozzarella sticks were soft.
and they were overpriced.
Well, I'm going to give you 2 reviews from people who know the truth.
Okay.
And 2 reviews from fucking shills.
Oh, okay.
And on
Don't
these
point
reviews,
at me when you say shills like that.
Disinfo agent.
Whoa. Bring in a little truth.
and so you can on these Google Plus reviews, you can give ratings for appeal, facilities, and service.
Okay.
So this
Do
first
they have
guy,
a restaurant?
I guess so.
I don't. Yeah,
Probably a Planet Hollywood.
The first guy is named Samuel Thompson. Mm-hmm. Appeal, Port Affair.
Oh.
Facilities, Port Affair.
Whoa.
Services, Port Affair.
Wow.
What are the services?
The rape.
That it?
Yeah, he just got violently raped. He's like, what kind of service is this?
I want to see one from Prescott Bush. Excellent to great.
Excellent to great.
Here's what
I
he's-
love the boy horse.
Although I will say, one of them was Port Affair, and then that boy's dead.
Oh yeah.
That's Bobby. Toothless Bobby?
Bobby Weir.
Yeah. He was in that band.
Here's what Samuel Thompson has to say. If you worship nature, why massacre dark-skinned peoples and plan to remove 90% of nature's humans?
Why?
The nature God you worship is not the true nature spirit. The higher spirit that created her will destroy you and holds you to the account. The wayward other spirit that was not, is not, and will not be will lead you into oblivion where you're headed to. Have fun while you can. You have plenty of time to suffer the results of your foolish choices. He is cross, and he is the axe that's already laid to the root of the trees. Not the true trees and living trees of nature, but the false trees of anti-nature, the bushes, and such like hillbilly bushwhackers.
Now,
But I
this is the
will
thing,
say
is that in
there,
order to make you
I will
feel
say-
better, that guy also gave you a thumbs down on your web series.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
sorry.
I
about
do
that.
want to say, their chicken and waffle brunch was pretty tasty.
Pretty fantastic, and
it.
I couldn't believe the delightful bluegrass band.
Unlimited syrup as well.
This one's from John Doe. He knows not to put his name
Yeah,
out
absolutely. You
there.
can't
Smart.
throw yourself out there and just be another fucking caterpillar for the grinding machine.
I agree.
Fucking NSA.
If you worked there and this is a country club, why is it one of the only places in the United States not on the map? I own private property, but somehow I can get on here and see everything on my land, but here it's all gray. We will not stand for the higher power. We, the people, are anonymous, and we stand together. The Lord is the only higher power, and we are after every piece of every priest of the 13. Praise Jesus, and keep it out your butt.
Hail Satan, number
Oh,
one.
hail Satan.
Jesus.
That's the problem, is that they all sound like morons.
Yeah, absolute idiots. And hail Satan. Jesus
And now
Christ.
from the shills.
Okay.
Atmosphere, excellent.
Oh,
Decor.
I bet.
Excellent.
Nice.
Service, excellent.
Who's he trying to fucking fool?
I mean, he had a great time there, apparently.
And this is in all caps. The Bohemian Grove is the most incredible place I've ever been. The people are honorable, dedicated to the prosperity of the United States, the environment, and the world.
Oh my.
Unfortunately, most Americans do not have access to this exclusive club. May the force be with the leaders of the Bohemian Club. Join me in thanking all of them for the dedication and hard work towards peace, prosperity, and the future of the human race. Godspeed. Peace on earth.
Is MK Ultra building Yelp reviewers?
Is that what happened? Is that what this is all about? A nice
just
seamless
turned from
review? Is Yola's Mexican restaurant using MK Ultra now to have people brag about the burritos?
Oh my god, that's so funny. That would be such a great idea for them just turning out and just being like, what we need, guys, what we're looking at is like, yes, we're raping tons of boys in order to make a portal to get Satan back on Earth. But the
Sure,
thing is
sure.
that how do we look on social media?
Think about
How
it.
many likes are we getting on Facebook?
Right.
And here's one last one from just a Google user.
A Google user.
He said,
Google use.
overall, excellent.
Oh, great.
Well, nice.
He had a good time.
He says, worked there for many years. No devil worship, no sacrifices, no gay orgies. Just older gentlemen camping on a retreat and playing dominoes, playwrights, music, acting. Great food, great job. People make up stupid things because they are draft dodgers and welfare recipients. If it wasn't for these people at Bohemian Grove, we'd all be eating rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, living in concentration camps. They are the reason the free world is alive and well, and Americans have freedom. USA is great on top. USA! USA! USA!
Try
likes
the
it.
chicken and waffles brunch as well.
Unlimited syrup.
Wow. I need to go. Oh, well, that's great. Okay. Very
You know,
interesting.
everybody likes something. You know,
You have to like something, indeed.
Comes
all
down-
right. Well, where are we at here, guys?
We're at over an hour here, so
Oh,
we gotta,
fantastic.
Yeah, we
All
gotta
right.
get out of here. What I have for us at the very end. I have the song that they sing.
I can see why they like this.
yeah. Well, it feels like Bohemian Grove.
It does. Hail Satan, everybody. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan!
Heil Geen.
Break the bonds of our leaders and owners.
Indeed.
Do not be a slave to the NSA.
That's right. Magustalations as well.
Read those things I talked about.
That's right.
Join the club of never having sex again.
Indeed. And of course, hail yourselves, everyone. Hail yourselves.
Congratulations.
Don't forget, tonight, 10 p.m., Sirius Radio, Raw Dog, Channel 99. We'll put the number on the Facebook page for you guys to call in. So
Hail me!
And of course, hail yourselves.